If you are requested to describe the Kenyan political mood and the political mode in one word, how do you describe it? Looking at what is happening, the prevailing political circumstances, how do you describe it in one word or in one sentence? Because if you ask me that question, I would describe the political mode as campaign mode. We have activated the campaign mode barely 2.5 years down the line after the last election. Notwithstanding the fact that there are several promises that we gave to Kenyans and they are not being realized. That is the political mode, if you ask me. But what is the political mood? If you ask me, the mood in the country is the mood of change. You listen to Kenyans who voted in the last general election, those who voted for William Ruto and the others that voted against him, they feel that we are not in the right trajectory. And so the mood is that of change. In fact, in 2027, we are only going to have two forces, two horses. There are going to be forces of change against the forces of status quo. And William Ruto understands this very well. He's already on top of vehicles campaigning. In terms of his appointments, you'll realize that he is trying to get a political base, a foundation. The other fact that we have is that William Ruto is not backing on the mountain. Remember, the mountain voted for William Ruto to the last man. He painted Mount Kenya yellow. The reality on the ground now is that they have parted ways. They are jilted lovers. And William Ruto is already focusing on other areas. That is why he is busy selling the broad-based government. To the extent that it is broad-based is something that I cannot understand, because if you ask me, uniting a country needs almost all the people, not just a section of the country. So, ladies and gentlemen, William Ruto understanding very well that people are looking for change. He is building his own foundation, but he has also sent people to sell fears. Wanatuuzia uoga. Uoga ni kwamba Ruto haezi shindwa. That is what they are telling us, that you cannot defeat Ruto. They are telling us that William Ruto defeated the deep state. That is when Raila Amolo Odinga was being supported by the former president Uhuru Kenyatta. And Uhuru had all the machinery. He was the commander-in-chief of all the armed forces. He could have averted any kind of rigging, or so people thought. And William Ruto triumphed over them. And so they are selling that. They want us to have that as a bait, that William Ruto is unbeatable. The other thing that they're telling us, because they are now saying that he defeated the deep state when he was outside, he was just a deputy president. Now he is the commander-in-chief. He's got the military and the police and everything. He cannot be beaten. What is your take? Because if this is the bait that Kenyans are going to swallow, then you are telling us there is no need going to compete with William Ruto. He should go unopposed. The other thing that they're telling us is that you cannot win against Ruto if you don't have money. People are talking about Okiya Omutata. Okiya Omutata has already formed a committee to try and look into the possibilities of running for presidency, the challenges. Fred Matiang'i has already contracted an international firm that has helped presidents win several seats in Botswana. There's a firm that he contracted, and this is the firm that helped the president of Botswana and many other countries. Others are looking at credibility, honesty, and they are saying, and integrity, and they are saying that Maraga fits well. Kalonzo Musyoka is already gearing up. Eugene Wamalwa is there. Martha Karua. And all of them want to challenge William Samoei Ruto. But Francis Atwoli is telling us that you cannot win against William Samoei Ruto. Anatuuzia uoga.
But Okia Umtata, he declared today that he wants to explore the possibility of running for president.
And I told you so many others will declare.
Yeah.
But I can tell you here and now, with the direction President William Samoei has taken, that direction he's now, that trajectory that he's now taking, he will be the president at 10 a.m. 2027. I'm telling you.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Come on.
I'm telling you. If now he does what he has done in Western Kenya, who else in Western Kenya is outside? You have Musalia Mudavadi. You want to tell me somebody will defeat you? He has brought in Oparanyai. He has been the Speaker of the National Assembly. That area is covered. Others are not makers, I swear. And then go to Nyanza with Raila. Go to Coast with Joe. And I already told you, Northeastern is quiet.
Because?
But so determined are Kenyans that Okia Mutata told off Francis Atwoli that you should not try and intimidate us because the votes are with the people. And Okia Mutata told Francis Atwoli that we are not going to swallow that bait. We will go. Let Kenyans decide.
And already there are indications that Kenyans are going to do whatever they will do in their small spaces to make sure that this change happens. So the question of money is the least problem we have. And I saw somewhere somebody saying we require 27 billion shillings. I don't know how the mathematics was worked out, but we'd want to know where the 7 billion shillings comes from. Because if an individual can raise 7 billion shillings to put in a campaign, then something is absolutely wrong with this country.
Kia reflects with all of us Gen Z, whatever it is we are fighting for and whatever it is he's been fighting for. So he reflects with our desire and our fight for a better Kenya. And that's what we all resonate with. And I think from the response we've got after he announced the committee, you can tell how well everyone took it.
In the middle of all this confusion as to who will go to the ballot, will Kenyans unite? If there is something that William Ruto would wish to happen, is this divide and rule kind of tactics, because this is what the late president, former president Daniel Toroitich arap Moi used. He ensured that he divided the opposition, for the Kenya, for the Silly, DP, name them. And when they disintegrated into pieces, it was very easy to beat them. And that is what William Ruto would really wish to happen. But Martha Karua had a very disturbing message to William Ruto. She's saying that they are going to unite as opposition, the forces of change. Because there are many, like I've mentioned, when we approach 2027, you will see more names. Others will be sponsored. But the real ones are, as we've said, Kalonzo, Okia Mutata, maybe Fred Matiang'i, Eugene, all those usual suspects. And Martha is saying that they're going to sit in a meeting if they're serious that they want change, and they will compete so that the best candidate becomes the opposition flag bearer. And if that happens, we are going to have one candidate, an opposition candidate, against William Samoei Ruto in 2027.
Kalonzo Musyoka au Mutata, wewe utawania
urais. Upande wa Martha Karua na NARC Kenya.
Utawania urais.
Kwani mimi si mtu.
Ndio maana tunakuuliza swali.
Sikiliza, watch my steps. Na usiniulize niwe mfuasi kama nilikuwa running mate. Kwani sijatosha? Nitajiweka kwa kiwanja, wa Kenya ndio watasema ni nani kati ya hao wote. Na wale tunaegemea upande umoja wa upinzani, kama ikiwezekana tunatakiwa kila mtu ajikuze. Wakati ukikaribia, zote tuwe na namna ya kuchagua mmoja kati yetu, mashindano, competitiveness. Kama tunasema tenda iwe na competitiveness, hata kama ni hiyo ya adani, hata urais uwe na competitiveness. Hakuna mtu atawekewa kofia kiketi, itakuwa ni mapambano. Yule ataibuka mshindi apate. Hata ile azimio haikuwa kwa sahani.
You know, there is this propaganda or selling fear that because William Ruto is with Raila, he's with Joho, he's with Oparanya, he has accumulated that support and therefore he is unbeaten. But let me tell you, the fact that Raila gave William Ruto some people to be appointed into the cabinet does not change the lives of Kenyans who are already suffering, living in deplorable state. That does not change the kind of governance that we have, corruption and wastage. It does not change the fact that when Gen Zs went to the street, they were tortured and killed and kidnapped. And when you look at this kind of narrative that is being peddled, it is meant to create fear and trivialize the opposition that is going to face William Samoei Ruto. There are few people who are at the high table, the ministers, the PSS, and all those. But the ordinary mwananchi is not in government. And this is the group that is going to face William Samoei Ruto. Do you think William Ruto has got any reason to fear? I believe there is. If the opposition unite, it is going to be very difficult to beat a united opposition. Already the church has left William Ruto. The Mama Bogas have left William Ruto. Watu wa Boda Boda have left William Samoei Ruto. Then there is this revenge mission that Gema is harboring. They have been disappointed, they have been betrayed, and they are already forming the large Gema opposition against William Ruto. When people unite together, I can assure you that the leaders who are supporting William Ruto will be shocked. And I know that there are people who are supporting William Ruto because they don't like Rigathi Gachagua, the manner in which he played his politics, especially when Raila led the Azimio protest. But in the event that Rigathi Gachagua will not be in the ballot, and so it will be William Ruto against another candidate, I can assure you that William Ruto will see dust. Don't take Kenyans for granted. Do not think that you can hoodwink all the people all the time. Kenyans are suffering. Kenyans voted for change and they can't see change. The change that is there is retrogressive change. Things are working for the worst. We are listening to the international community, and Kenyans have this knowledge. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, I want to humbly submit to you that no one should tell you that William Ruto cannot be beaten. As we approach 2027, what is going to speak for every elected leader is your record. You are given 5 years. What did you do with it? It is not going to be tumetenga, tutafanya. It is, this is what I have done, this is what is remaining. From the MCA all the way to the presidency, you will showcase what you've done. But even as we speak, you already know if the leader that you elected is making progress, you can easily see. They don't have to defend it. If Kenyans are going to shun corruption and decide that they're not going to take money, or if they take it, they will take it but will not vote. If they decide to shun tribalism and say that we want change, I can assure you that it is going to be very difficult for William Ruto. The last thing, we don't have an IEBC that is properly constituted. And as they appoint commissioners, this is when the opposition should come very vibrantly and ensure that the team that is going to be appointed is a neutral team. Let them look at how things happened when we had a boisterous and a bully chairman, so that they change the rules of the game. As we approach the 2027, we should not allow anybody to control the IEBC. Then let us have an eye on the Supreme Court and ensure that we don't allow them to give us another wild goose chase kind of ruling. What must happen is that people must vote like we did in 2002 to ensure that there will be no room even for the IEBC chairman. If he wants to play mischief, he will even be ashamed, because when people go out and they vote overwhelmingly, even you will be ashamed even to try and announce someone else. So ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? In my very humble opinion, if the opposition unite, if Kenyans unite, and we have the forces of change against the forces of status quo, it is going to be a done deal to William Samoei Ruto.